There are time-honored traditions around the holidays, and our next guests from the Nevada Ballet Theatre have most likely one of the best.
Yeah, their rendition of the Nutcracker has been described as the most visually beautiful production ever staged at Reynolds Hall. And welcome to the couch, Roy Kaiser and James Canfield. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're good. We're very good.
Good.
James, that's quite the accolade. That's that's been bestowed upon the production. What makes your interpretation of the Nutcracker so, give this kind of outpouring of impressiveness?
Trying to have adults as well as children experience it for the first time again in their lives by imagining something that's bigger than life. So we created a set that is 40 feet high in the air, and so it brings adults back to their childhood imagination, as well as kids, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, and with such a classic story, there have been so many different interpretations of the Nutcracker. So what really inspired or prompted you for this particular take on it?
Tim Burton and Dr. Seuss.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
a great name.
Yes.
Pretty much that's it in the original tale that E.T.A. Hoffman told. So kind of went back and used all those as the inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, you mentioned the set. Obviously, the dance routines, the ballet side of things, the orchestral side of things. Bringing this whole thing together. What is it like behind the scenes? Going from pre-production, set design, getting the choreography ready, getting the music ready, bringing everything together. How long does it take to put something like this on?
I mean, there are a lot of moving parts.
Right.
It's a huge production. We not only have the professional company, but we have like 50 students from our academy that are also part of the production. Huge production crew in the theater. They started loading in yesterday, actually Sunday. They did the first load in. So a lot of moving parts. We start rehearsing the company. We started about 4 weeks ago, and the steps are taught. We have dancers that are returning, but we also have new dancers, and we also put them in different roles. So there's the learning process, and then James comes in a week. You've been here about a week, and puts the finishing touches on it so that it really shows his vision for the ballet.
Yeah.
Now, when adding, a different interpretation to a classic story, it breathes this sort of creativity. Do you feel like there's any challenges with that as well, to sort of sticking to the classic take on it?
I mean, one of the challenges I think is, and we lived it on Saturday, is we have this wonderful cast of young performers from our school. And getting them to really understand the magnitude of what they're taking on and understand how they have to be on the stage, how they have to project their individual characters and convey the story to the audience without words.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that story, I mean, obviously, for a lot of people, part of their holiday traditions is a visit to go and see the Nutcracker.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure and I anticipate there are many people out there who probably have heard the name, have heard some of the music, but aren't familiar with the story or what the production is like. I mean, for someone who's never been before, how would you describe a visit to go and see any production of the Nutcracker?
Well, I think one of the other things that we did that is unique to this performance is giving everybody the same starting point. So at the beginning of the ballet and all throughout, there's a scrolling of the story. So the very first thing that we wanted to have happen when we did it in 2012 was having parents reading in silence, and whispering the story as it was scrolling. So everybody got the same point of departure. So they get the story all the way through. So if they're not understanding it from a balletic standpoint of view, they are getting the actual narrative written and told to them throughout the whole ballet.
That's definitely helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah, and as we're mentioning, this is something people want to see around the holidays specifically. How many more times will people watching be able to come and see the show?
We have 15 performances.
15 shows, yeah.
We have 15 shows this season. And we'll do the Nutcracker year after year after year after year. Ballet companies in America especially, I mean, we survive.
It's our cash cow.
By the Nutcracker. It's our cash cow. So the Nutcracker will be around for a long, long time.
Great.
Is it something that you guys still look forward to every year? Is it obviously it comes with its challenges and different dancers teaching different routines again, but is it something that it's still a highlight?
It is for me.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes such an important part of your life when you enter into this profession, both as a performer and then both of us as directors and a choreographer as well. Yeah, it's a special time of the year. Selfishly, as a director, I like it because we have so many performance opportunities. I get to give opportunities to dancers in the company that might not otherwise get them, and there's some wonderful surprises in that.
Well, it's special.
Great.
Special,
Well, thank
special
you both so
thing.
much
Thank you,
for joining
Thank you for
us
having
this
us.
morning. The Nevada Ballet Theatre's performance of the beloved holiday tradition of the Nutcracker is happening now in Reynolds Hall at the Smith Center.
To learn more about the company and to plan your trip to catch a performance at Reynolds Hall, visit nevadaballet.org.